Hey guys, welcome back to your Daily Dose. Today we're talking about The Oval, Season 2, Episode 5. Alright, so can someone come and get Jason and haul him off to the crazy house and his daddy too? Yeah, just take them both and go somewhere, please. So this episode is starting off with Jason with his parents, and he's admitting to them that his mother wouldn't have been his third victim, but she would have been his fourth because he also killed his grandmother. And he says that like, yeah, I did it, and what? In the conversation, his father's kind of talking to him nicely and is definitely being the good cop while his mom is being the bad cop in an effort to get him to open up more and kind of just spill all his guts. So what he said was he did kill Denise. He did that because he didn't like the way that his father was going crazy over her, and didn't like the way his mother was acting when it came to her either, because if you can remember last season, Victoria lost her mind in the hallway, was running down after the woman trying to put her hands on her. So apparently Jason saw that and didn't like that, so he killed Denise. We all saw what happened with Jean, no explanation necessary there. And then with the grandmother, he was saying that he didn't like the way that she was talking to him, but he also emphasized that neither one of his parents liked her. So he is in this conversation demanding that his mother thank him for murdering Denise and murdering her mother. He's crazy. Also in this conversation, he's trying to put it on his parents for the way he is. No, Slim, that's not a good enough excuse. He's saying that his parents sent him off to boarding school and gave him lots of material things, but they never showed him love, and that's why he's the way he is. Nope, you're just crazy. In any case, so he talks about how next year he's turning 18 and he wants his own place, and I'm like, dude, you're telling your parents as if you want them to give you your own place when you could go out and actually work and try and get things on your own. But alas, childish brain, childish mind doing some really dumb things here. So in any case, his parents are like, nah, you're not going to have your own place, or actually you will when you go to jail, or we'll have you committed. So Jason flips out and again tries to kill his mother. His father pulls him off and throws him in his room. Before he slams his door, Jason says to his mom, I'm going to stay here. You're going to like it. Let me know when it's time for lunch. Really? He's crazy. So anyway, the first lady and the president are there trying to figure out what they're going to do, and the president decides that he is going to call Donald and Kyle up to help him deal with the body. Victoria really doesn't trust them, especially because of how they handled the whole Max and Yuma situation, but the president calls them anyway because he definitely doesn't want to get the first lady's father involved. The first lady, again, is the only one seeming to want to have Jason answer for what it is that he did. She's insisting to call the FBI so that they can handle it, and the president again reminds her that if Jason goes to jail, they're going to be ruined. If Jason goes to the FBI, they're going to be ruined. Her parenting is going to be questioned and scrutinized, and that's the last thing that she needs. So she basically concedes and walks away. In the next scene, we have Barry at home in the kitchen talking to his mom. He's trying to get her to give Richard some space. Richard has lost his mind and is being ridiculously rude to his wife, and is really in his feelings because he doesn't know who her child's father is. So Barry said, you've never seen him like this. You keep saying that he's going to come around, but you don't know if he actually ever will. So you might want to cool it. She changes the subject and asks about Ruth because he did see her drag her to the police station, and she in turn had him arrested, and he apparently got out the night before. So this is the first time his mom is speaking with him since then. She asks about the baby, and then Barry gets a little hostile and is talking about how he wouldn't be in the situation if the mother didn't let Ruth in to see the child. So the mom is like, I don't have the energy to tolerate your disrespect today. And he goes, well, you got a lot more coming from your husband. In the next scene, we're back at the White House, and Kyle and Donald pull up, and the president is basically telling them that his son is a murderer and he's crazy. Kyle says to the president that his son being the murderer is his out. The president didn't like that too much and dismisses Kyle to go take care of the body. So he's there alone talking with Donald, who seems a little bit nicer and is very apologetic and is sympathetic towards the president, who is genuinely upset. He's questioning his own parenting skills, wondering where he went wrong. He's also genuinely scared of his son, which is not a good feeling. So they realize that having him committed is probably not a good idea because he won't go. So Donald suggests moving him out of the residence to another place in the White House where Secret Service can keep a very close eye on him, and then they can have people come in and treat him. So the president looks like he's open to that, but at the same time, he's worried that his son will talk. And Donald says, you know what, let me handle this. I'll make a few phone calls and I'll get the right person to handle the whole situation. All right, so next we have Kareem and Sharon at the pharmacy. And I don't know about you, but I love a good crossover. So we have a guy named Dale. For those of you that are watching Ruthless, in the first season, the members of the cult would visit a nearby grocery store. And we had a couple scenes where one of the guys in the cult was trying to recruit Dale, who worked at the grocery store. Dale has since apparently quit working at that store and is inquiring at this pharmacy for a job. So we get him talking with Kareem, and he gives all the backstory about where he worked and what his experience was, and Kareem pretty much hires him on the spot. So Dale walks away to complete his job application, and Sharon and Kareem are talking. Again, I'm not even sure how we got back here. So he's back to questioning her relationship with Barry and whether or not he hurt her, asking her to move in with him, and this just whole flirtatious back and forth. In this scene, though, Sharon did a good job of basically saying, you hired someone so that we can keep our distance from one another, so let's keep our distance from one another. She says that she's only there for the money for her bills, but girl, there are other pharmacies. You can always quit if you really wanted to go, but I digress. So next we have Bobby, Max, and Lily. Bobby is seeing Lily off and gives her some instructions on how to get back to her house with Donald safely. She leaves, and then Bobby and Max get into conversation, and they basically are filling each other out a little bit. Bobby asks him if he's ever met the one, and Max admits that he's met the one several times, and also admits that he and his wife are actually currently getting a divorce. Right now their interactions are like a little dry, but I really see them becoming like a buddy cop duo type of thing. They seem to be coming around to each other, and I like it. I really would like to see that dynamic between the two of them moving forward. I think it would be fire. Back at the White House, Priscilla's clearance seemed to be blocked. She's stuck at the door. Richard comes back and is able to get in, but she's still stuck there. Sam comes in and is asking her, like, can I trust you? And she goes, yeah, of course, I'm here to work. And he lets her in. Sam knows better, but again, he's really ignoring all the red flags because Priscilla's his wife. But I really need him to put his foot down. Richard comes in, and you see him with the blonde maid that he told Nancy that he was going to give a chance. And so he actually goes to work and seeks her out. And she asks him how he was doing and says that she would have come to the hospital but didn't want to be a nuisance to his wife. He says to her, you don't have to worry about her anymore, indicating that the relationship is over. Asks the lady out, kisses her on the cheek, and is being really, really, really bold for someone who doesn't have any divorce papers out there. So we leave this episode, or they leave each other with a date set up. Back at the pharmacy, Sharon is going over some things with Dale, and they get into conversation about his background. And he tells her about the grocery store he worked at and the cult that would come in And he says, yeah, they call themselves the Ragadushis or whatever they're called. And she makes the connection that this is the same cult that Ruth is a part of. And Dale says that he knows pretty much where their compound is. And so Sharon is kind of distracted by this. She calls Sam to come and talk to Dale so he can get some information that could possibly help find Barry's daughter. So Sam says that he'll come after work around 6 p.m. and Sharon says that she'll try and keep Dale there. It's side note, so the FBI knows where these people are located because in the Ruthless show, they're undercover agents actually in the cult and in the police department that is constantly visiting the cult. So the FBI knows where they are. Why is it that the Secret Service is unable to get that information and figure out where they are? So back in the White House in the kitchen, Priscilla's in there talking to that maid that Richard had asked out earlier in the episode. And then Sam walks in and starts to question Priscilla in a way that makes the maid think that they're playing around, but he's really trying to figure out if Nancy is going to poison the first family or the first lady in particular. So Priscilla brushes off the questions and Sam felt okay walking away, but by the end of the conversation, the maid gathered that something was kind of off between them. So the maid gets into conversation with Priscilla and says that she needs to get to work. There's a lot for her to do because Jean's out. She's covering her shift, but she has a date tonight. So Priscilla offers to cover Jason's room while the maid finishes the other room on the floor. So the maid is very grateful for that, but she doesn't divulge who she's going on the date with. So then they start to talk about Jean. So the maid says that Jean has been in a rocky relationship, and she's been blabbing about it to another maid who actually is the big mouth. So she was talking to this blonde maid about Jean's situation, and I do apologize, but these are all new characters, so I'm not really sure of their names. In any case, the blonde maid is in the kitchen now telling Priscilla all of this, and Priscilla's like, y'all shouldn't be talking about her like that. And the blonde chick goes, well, we wouldn't be talking about her if she wasn't here. And they both realize that something must be up because she's never late and she's never not answering her phone. It's always easy to get in touch with her. They also bring up the maid that found Jean's dead body under Jason's bed. At this point, no one has gone to visit her. She's a clear witness to seeing the body under his bed and can pin the murder on Jason. So hopefully Priscilla can go there and get that information from her before either Kyle or Donald does and ends up killing her. And lastly, out of this conversation, the maid also asked Priscilla about how Richard's relationship is with his wife. And Priscilla sees right through that. She's like, listen, you've been after this man for years. He's always turned you down. He and his wife love each other. Don't mess with him. Leave him alone. And so the maid kind of backs off, but she's still going to hold her date. That's the man of her dreams. She's been wanting him for years, and he comes in finally one day and says that his marriage is over and that he wants to go out with her. She's not going to listen to Priscilla. So in any case, the maid goes back to work, and Priscilla is there wondering what's going on with Jean. In the next scene, we have Ellie and Alan. Poor Ellie. So at first, you kind of not like her because of the way she was treating Diane on her way out, but the way that the people at the White House, namely Donald and the First Lady, treat her at work, and now at home you realize her boyfriend Alan's actually a jerk, you start to feel bad for her. So in any case, this scene starts with him trying to get onto her phone, and he says to her, did you change your password? And she goes, yeah, I changed it. We work at the White House. And he's like, well, give me the new one. And she refuses. And he gets really aggressive with her. She refuses to open it, and at that time she gets a text message, and he's able to either unlock the phone or see the message. So it's apparently a dick pic. He doesn't know who it's from, but the message that came along with it is that we both need you. And he's now badgering her like, who is this from? Tell me now. She goes, no, I'm not going to tell you. And he's like, if you don't, then you can't go to work. And she goes, what, are you going to put another bruise on my face? He says that she did that herself. She goes, if you do not give me my phone and let me go to work, I'm going to let them all know who you are and what you've done to me. So he sends the picture to himself and gives her phone so she can go to work. But he wants to find out who is sending her a dick pic. Like, how are you really going to find that out at work, especially if you work at the White House? So Ellen is really, really crazy. Ellie says that she's not coming back. She's leaving and they've broken up. So we'll see how long she's able to stay away from him, because he sounds like he's dangerous enough to follow her around and actually do something to her. So then he tries to tear her down some more by calling her a social climber and saying that he should have known better because of the relationship or alleged relationship between her and some senator. And really tries to make her feel like crap, but she really bosses up in the conversation and says, you don't know who you're messing with. I am Ellie from California or wherever she's from, and I will mess your life up. Try me. So I do like the fact that she is fighting him back and isn't just taking his foolishness. So your president is in the bathroom taking dick pics. Obviously, he's the one that sent them to Ellie when the first lady walks in. So she basically gets on him for doing that after finding out that his son has killed all these people. He kind of brushes off what she says. So she says she's off to plan her mother's funeral and that her father is really upset. The president doesn't really care about any of that. She also says that she is moving out of the White House. She can't stay there with Jason, and it seems like she's the only one that has any type of sense in this situation. The president says that no, he's got it under control. He's going to move him out of the residency and into another place in the White House far away from her. She says okay, but she's still telling her father because she thinks that he can really handle the situation with Jason with the FBI. So the father must have some really high connections there. As soon as she says that, this fool Jason pops out of nowhere. He was hiding behind the tub in their bathroom. Really? And I guess he's fearful that his parents really will send them away, so he's all of a sudden apologetic. His father is, I guess, just trying to keep him calm and is telling him that it's okay, you don't have to leave, we'll handle it here, we'll get you the help that you need here. He's still trying to say that he doesn't know, what's come over him when he gets angry, that type of thing. And the father is, again, pacifying him and telling them that it's okay. Victoria is slowly becoming my girl, because in this situation, she's like, save it for the judge. Don't call me mom, call me Victoria, because there's no way that I gave birth to someone like you. She walks out because Jason refuses to leave the bathroom. And as she leaves, Jason looks at his father and says, are you serious? As if his mom is the crazy one for not wanting to be around him because he's a murderer. So again, he's pleading with his father to not send him away because he can't go to prison. They'll eat him alive in there. And again, yes, go to prison. You killed 3 people. Apparently, you need to be eaten alive, because not being eaten alive is not keeping you from being a crazy person. So in any case, his father tries to put his hand on his shoulder and says that he's going to handle it. His mom will come around. And Jason throws his dad's hand off of him to say, I saw what you were doing earlier, so don't touch me with your hand. Again, the father should just be grossed out and really try to get the son committed or, send him to jail, because there's nothing, it seems like, they can do in the White House just short of like torturing him or put him in a jail in the White House to really fix his issues. Next, we see Priscilla going into Jason's room, and she's basically searching around to look for any evidence of whether or not Jean is still there or any clue as to where she went. When she was there looking on the bed, Jason pops up behind her and asks her what she's doing in his room. So that's where the episode ends up. So I'm excited to see what happens next week. But in the meantime, guys, that's it for season 2, episode 5 of The Oval. Drop down in the comment section below and let me know what you think of this episode. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Peace.